God, it has no brakes. Starts like a champ. Wow. Yes. So, I am going to take off these door handles. First, I'm going to learn how it comes off. Yeah. Then I can get at the inside of this. Far out. Okay. Tool hunt. All right. You got that working? This, I'm wondering if it has a set screw. Doesn't appear to. Ooh, it might. Those dirty so-and-sos. It's got a pin you gotta hammer out. It's way down in there. Wow. It's needing convincing. Wow. Oh. Brandon! You can hold that like that. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
It's out.
Was that?
It's out.
Oh, okay. Now,
Where did the pins by his foot there?
let me see that. Thank you.
And the pin's down by your foot.
Yeah, I do not want to lose that.
Right there.
You see, Nathan's a Mopar guy, and they pay particular attention to original parts, bolts, pins, everything, which I respect. So you have to be very, very careful. Not that other people don't, but Mopar guys absolutely do. So we do the same. Oh, right. See if I can find it. What happened is this little metal plate, if I don't push this back, it holds the pin from going all the way in, or all the way out. So if you can do that. Ha! Now we're experts. Expert. It's a has-been that leaks under pressure. Okay. Oh, you got it? Great. Back in the handle. There we go. Don't want to lose that. Perfect. Okay, so now, get this. Don't scratch the paint. Oh, perfect. Okay. So you gotta like the old cars. So on me, ooh, that's nasty. I was going to shrink the middle first, but most body men just can't wait to try it. So, I'm going to grab specialized pry bar. Use the door, Brandon. Let's have a look out here where the action is. Yep. You got the door. Wow. Yep. That's not gonna work. We gotta do, I wanna shrink this first. And that's pretty nasty there.
Can you get your spoon in there or no?
Not down that low. And this is one of the things, you do less, you see someone's already done a bunch of
Hammered down,
hammering,
yeah.
and they've stretched it.
Yeah, they went out too far.
And that's a drag, because that creates more work. So this is where the heavy tension is. You can see the crease. I might have to glue or weld a tab on here and then do a pull, but not just in one place. I'm not sure. Gotta think about this one. It's a tough one. Here's something I strongly recommend. Putting a winch on the front of your hoist. Now, Nathan's truck doesn't have the best brakes in the world right now, so instead of risking it, I'm winching it up the last little bit. Hopefully this will work. I gotta hook it lower, because when the chain comes up high, the cable hits the emergency stop and shuts off the winch. I'm be bold and see if that works. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'll just leave that on there for now. So I'm going back on the Nomad, but tonight I'll play with this. Love this truck. Good day. I was gonna get all fancy, but let's just try with a spoon. Interesting. This. I'm gonna get a hammer and dolly on this. Just rough it in a bit. Get some hammer marks on it. Pressure ridge right here. Dollying in low, hammering on the pressure ridge. That's pretty rough. I want to put a basketball in there, fill it up with air. So what I'm doing here, I've clamped this piece of channel to the inner door so I can use a 2x6 or 4 and pry without screwing up the door opening. So that's what I'm up to on the inside. Okay. Uh-oh, don't like that. Didn't like that. Usually start at the shallow and work my way to the deep. But here, I probably need some pins or some glue. We're just roughing it. Yeah. That's gonna do more damage than good. So I gotta do some pins in the creases. Had to check, never know unless you try. So once I get the crease out, then I can start fine tuning, shrinking, making a door out of it. Time to change my lights. I've been meaning to do it. Okay, I've been meaning to change those bulbs for about a year or two, but I've been down at Russ Bros, so now I just got to get a ladder to get up in the box. All right, that's way up there. I've been living in the dark for a while. And Dad picked up these bulbs for me. Supposed to be good ones. Maybe those are the wrong ones. Oh shit, they are. Two more. I must have two. In their defense, the previous lights have been in there for 10 years. Yeah. Well, now I see the light. Good day. It's time to work on this 59 door. Hoping to go in later today to get my motor for my compressor. That Burmar rewind. Okay, so what we're going to do here right now is we're going to shrink. The reason we shrink is the metal got hit and it's longer from point A to point B when you have to go in from the dent. So you pull it back out, the metal's been stretched. So I'm high in here in a couple of spots. So when I do a shrink, say I heat up, here's the side view. When I heat up a little spot red hot, it'll rise up or down, whichever way it goes. So it comes up. Here's my hot spot. First hits right smack on the button, the red hot. So this cold metal around the hot spot can move in to the hot spot. The cold can move into that hot spot I hit. Then I usually support it with the dolly back here, and I slap the metal towards the hot spot. And you're just trying to go all the way around and work it into the hot spot. Now if you quench it, it'll suck up tighter and be harder. I'm gonna leave this and let it cool slowly because the metal stays soft and annealed. So it's easier to hammer and dolly it really smooth. And I've got some stuff here I really want to dolly. There is one hole there, that's not a rust hole. That's a mark from welding something on there and pulling it off. So, normally I have an honorable assistant to run torch for me. So I don't have that today, so I'm going to heat up a few spots here and they're going to come out probably. So I'll whack in on the button, dolly in behind and hammer towards it and tighten this panel up. I'll try to find a straight edge here and I'll show you what I got first and then we can check it out afterwards. All right, when you have the little cone on your flame, you don't want that little blue cone touching the metal. I'm going to see how this goes. Got a dolly ready inside. Let's see what happens. It's a little difficult to do yourself. No bigger than the size of a dime. I didn't get on it quick enough. Let's try that again. I don't know. You can see it coming out possibly. The art of this is knowing where to shrink.
Now, oh, I forgot to put a straight edge so you could see the improvement. That's a drag. It's looking pretty good. Now this naturally has a curve to it. It's a little bit pregnant. If you shrink it too much, it's going to go in and stay in. So you have to find the happy medium. Now if you hammer, if I had the dolly right here and I hammered right on that, it's like using an English wheel. You're stretching the metal, making it thinner, and you would crown it a little bit more. And you can tell by the sound of it that I'm hitting on the dolly. So you can see that's bad. That's called oil canning. But it's part of the process trying to get different areas of this shrunk. I may have to wait for an assistant, but I'm going to try a couple more. I can feel the high spots. So that's where I'm going to control my shrinking. And then once it's all shrunk, it'll probably be discarded. But then I can dolly it out if I do it right. I'll have to do this again when I have an assistant because it's much easier to explain and you can see it happening. Just a tiny little spot, smaller than a dime. Yeah, I'm getting tempted at my side. You can see it pop in. And I'm just feeling very subtle highs. So it's an isolated area I'm shrinking. So then I will run the hammer and dolly over it and re-crown it where I want it. We're just trying to get rid of excess metal so I can do that. A lot of these where someone tried to hammer it out already and they stretched it. Okay, we gotta do some dolly. As always, there's undercoating on the inside of the door. Usually, so I gotta scrape some of that off. Okay, I've cleaned the tar off the inside. I'm gonna do some hammering now. Tell by the sound. Oh, look at all that tar. Yeah, in the back of the dolly. Okay, so you can tell by the sound when you're hammering, hammer on dolly. So when I'm fine tuning with tiny little ups and downs, generally is a universal dolly, all those different shapes. You can hear it. So there's just some minor imperfections in here I'm trying to smooth out. Coming out pretty good. It comes down to time. I mean, you can do it where you get all the metal absolutely perfect. You just keep going over it and you pick one little area at a time and make it bang on, and then to the next and the next. But it could take you a few days. Sometimes that's the way to go. On an old farm truck, we're not going to put that kind of time into it. So this is in and out because I don't have enough tension here, but I'm a bit high here, so I'm going to try to push the excess down. So I'm dolly behind here, slapping down. Basically, it's sort of a pressure ridge. Whenever you have a dent all the way around it, there's a bit of, you can see the tension, you can feel it. So you push the lower that's in too far, and you slap down on that ridge, and it levels it out like water. But a little more up here. Yeah, I have a little high spot. I think I'm going to have to shrink there. I think the next one I do, I'll bring a long piece of chalk and I can slide it over it and it'll leave chalk in all the high spots. That'd be a little more visually visible. It'd be easier to follow. And of course, you're using the light to shine across, and it highlights like a drywaller. You know, you see the shadows, you can see the highs and lows. So light is extremely important. That's one thing at Legacy Speed and Body. I was blown away by the lighting in some of their rooms there. It's just stunning. Okay. I'm a little low here and I'm a little high here. So dolly behind the low spot up top. You can see that. Yeah. Okay, we're getting there. Pops up by itself now. A little too far. Okay, I know I need to shrink a couple more spots. Like this. Where's my straight edge? Okay, you can see that rock. On just about every door you do, it will be crowned a bit. Very little crown, 1/8 inch at each end. Up here I'm 1/4. But this is what I'm talking about. That area is high and that area is high. So I'll dial them in a little better. And dolly it. See what happens. Trust me, that's way better. Just going to stretch it. Oh yeah, okay. A little more down here. And by holding the dolly really loose, I can just make an indentation. By holding it tight, I stretch the metal. If I just hit the door with nothing behind it, it just bounces in and out. So gently holding the dolly means I can dent in a very tiny area. It's like a cold shrink almost, right? Try one of those here. Yeah. That's more better. Okay, now I have this hole here I'm going to weld up right now. I think I'll just use the torch, and because that's going to pull when it cools. So before I waste too much time making this bang on, I'm going to get some TIG rod, use my oxyacetylene, and weld it up. Good day. So Scott from Pat's Auto dropped me off some nice gloves to protect myself, but I forgot them in my other vehicle. But it made a big difference. So now I'm all pretty much healed up. So we got this, right? So now I'm going to grind this, and then I'm going to rub my hands over it again, and I'm going to fine tune a little more if I need to. This is a bit of an unusual case. Normally, if I'm going to bodywork a door, strip the whole thing, butter the whole panel with filler, and then I block it straight. I'm trying, you know, we're never going to just match this color. Well, we will, but in the interest of matching the color, I want to keep the area as small as possible. So I'm just going to put filler on the area that I need to, and I need to talk to see whether Nathan wants me to mess with this or to leave that as an honest patina. I'm not sure. That's all debatable. But for now, I've got air. My air compressor is fixed. I'm so happy. That was rather difficult. Burmar fixed it up for me. Burmar Rewind, Grand Prairie. So now, oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to trim with this to give it some new sharp edges. I'll show you that. I'll be back in a minute. So even though I can cut steel with this, you can cut paper too.
it works.
So now that I've cut corners on it, it digs into those tiny, tiny low spots quite well. Watch. Okay, this is actually pretty smooth. Not bad. And again, I'm trying to be realistic here. Got one little low spot I want to play with back here. See if I can't pump it out. That's it. There's something else on that. Shut off a leaky air filter. That's one of the reasons Mike's like those impossible ones. Impossible to open and close, to hook up and unhook. They tend not to leak. I still don't like them. The old bullnose hammer. And a little dolly behind the low spot. It's pretty nice. Help hold tension on it. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so. Oh, whoops. I want to leave it open so when I sand, I don't hit the cab. So this is basically, metal's looking pretty good. I could spend a day on metal work and you just pick each little area and make it perfect and file it. That's not what the client wants. This is realistically a good solid repair. It had huge creases, big dent. We've got it looking pretty good. So I'm gonna do some filler on this now. And then we'll see if we're gonna paint it or we'll see what happens here. But anyhow, I would consider this pretty successful. It took a little more time than I expected because I had no air and I gooned myself. So this is good. I may or may not show you the filler work, but we'll see how that works out. All right, cheers for. Okay, to end, you wipe it down first with the final wash or something to get rid of the grease and oil from your hands. Then we can spread this. It's almost the right color. Maybe I won't have to paint it. Here we go. It's tough when you're, you know, how far do you go? It's a patina build, it's an old farm truck. You hammer it out, but I mean, I can't just leave it in bare metal. What do you do? I mean, the vehicles that this guy has are all pretty nice. So I kind of want to try to paint it. And you can do paint and rough it up and make it look old. We're going to experiment with a few things on this one. But we're going to try to do the best job we can for the guy without getting silly. And actually, Nathan, he has a Roadrunner 70, 69. He just bought it and he has a quarter to cut off another car. And he was asking if he could use it
to replace is a skin, so only up to this line on the car he just bought. So I think the first time we go to someone else's shop and give him a hand, I think we're gonna go to Nathan's for a couple of reasons. One, he doesn't live too far away, and we can see how it works with mics and see if people want to do that. See other people's shops and other cars, and he has some experience, but he's definitely a car guy. And so this is the thing, if we can show someone how they can do stuff on their own and have a good time doing it, that's always a bonus, right? So I think we'll be going off to his place 10 or 12 days, I think, and give it a shot. Now, I kind of feel like I could have done a better job of smoothing it out. It sure doesn't need much. But, yeah, I should have mixed up more. And anyhow, I'm going to lightly take this down. By the time I clean off my tools, that'll be ready to sand. And then I'll give it a skim again, because I just yakking too much. Could have done a better job. That's all right. I haven't spread any filler in a long time. Got to get back in the groove. So I clean these tools well, wash them off with thinner or solvent, clean them up. Here it is, 36, 40. Because it's so green, it plugs off this paper really quick. But time is money. Paper's cheaper than time. So I'm just trying to open it all up. Make it even dry quicker. I did not do a great job. Normally when you're done, it's pretty smooth. But we'll fix that. Also, the filler I have has been in the dark in a cool area. If you can have it where the sun shines on it, warms it up, it's a lot more liquid, and when it goes on, less pinholes and smoother. Some guys even have heaters they wrap around their filler can. And we change direction. Yeah, I could have saved myself a lot of time by doing better filler. Smoother. Wow, got to get the arm back used to working. I might switch over to a longboard pretty quick, but first keep going with the short block. So I know that's really exciting stuff, but I'm just going to keep at her for a while. I'll switch over to 80 grit pretty quick here and make her smooth. This is a bit slow now at this stage, but I just keep going back and forth. And that's all you can do. Make a pattern, go all the way down, change your direction. More map. So, as they say, I just keep sanding until I get rid of anything that doesn't look like a Power Wagon door. Other direction. You can see I'm getting there. It's hard work. In any trade, there's all kinds of mundane parts. Body work is probably sanded. Drywalling, huh?
Sanding again. Carpentry. Finishing carpentry. Again, lots of sanding. Yeah, now I'm concentrating this area because it felt like the highest. But I've got to start paying attention to this. Now, I don't want to scratch the paint over here. So I'm going to switch over to a short block and I'm going to open the door a bit. Well, I might even lay some tape on that fender. Of course I won't. Not yet. I should. But I'm going to try just to sand it with a block. A small one. I've got my finger in front of the block, so my finger will hit that fender before the sandpaper does. It's easiest to fold the paper over on itself because the back breaks and it tears easy. So we'll try this now with fresh paper. It should work out great. I was yakking with Cassidy today. She's picked up some more tools. She's working on a cool square body, making some headway. And I was discussing gasoline with Mike today. To go across the country and back is about 14,000 K. And then tucking back is about another, now I forget, 10,000 K, 9,000 K? About 20, I think around 23,000 kilometers with no side trips. That's a lot of fuel. Hot Cars and Cool Tools YouTube channel. I want to stop by their shop, see their car. Maybe I can do some sanding. Okay, gonna get back to the long block. I want to share the pain. Every job, every cool car you see out there comes down to a lot of this. This is the time when body men question their life choices. 40 grit still. This is coming pretty nice. I got a little bit more I want to sand out. Then I'll switch over to 80. Then refine my scratches. Two-post hoists are great, but if this was on a two-post, there'd be a post right here, and that's just a miserable place to have to work. And a lot of our work is on doors, so I strongly recommend if you're doing body work, stick with the four-post. Okay, I'll finish that with 80. That's coming nice. Yes. Okay. I'm going to take a breather. And then I'm going to come back and switch over to 80 grit. And I'm going to walk this down really nice. And finish off with 120, 150. That's going well. Okay. This is 80 grit. Part of this, as I'm doing this, communicating with the client. Doesn't matter what business you're in. when you have a client, you need to know what their expectations are. They have to know what you can produce and if you can match the requirements. With this is what he's going with. He has some very refined vehicles, and he's got this, which is a real honest patina vehicle. So there may be a dip or something I'll leave, because I don't think he wants this completely mirror finish straight, because it won't suit it. So with any job or business, communication with the client, find out what they want, double check, because if he's not happy, I'm working for free to make him happy. So you've got to communicate, biggest part of any job. Pat's Auto dropped me off some beauty gloves yesterday, which worked when I was doing some hammering and such. Now I gotta go find them. That's doing pretty good. But the sanding sure makes you feel it. Yeah, you can leave a warble, a little dish, not a line like that. I'm hoping it stands out. All right, okay. It's smooth all over. I'm gonna finish this with some 150. Yeah, there's a little dish here, very minute, but I think it should stay to make this all work. I'm trying to blend as little as possible. I don't know, we'll see. Like anything, I think I'm making the right call. We'll find out. Okay, now with the fine stuff. Yeah. I'm easily amused. But that's nice. Okay. Whew. That's pretty good. I'm going to blow it off, have another look. And this body worked. Well, hand was bugging me, so I went and found the gloves finally that Pat's Auto Stock dropped off for me because they saw it again myself. So here we go. I've sanded through here trying to see what the patina looks like. This is real smooth and flat. There's a few scratches. Not a big deal. We're priming it. I almost wish I could just matte clear that. Doesn't really stick out. But anyhow, now I've got a mask off and I'm going to try to prime this. I may try to tint my primer. But it's sort of mission accomplished. Big improvement. Kind of a fun job actually. So I'm going to lower it down a bit, mask it off. Debate whether, I guess I might have to take the mirror off. I mean, I'm trying to keep it small, so it depends how well I can tint the primer, whether I'm taking all this stuff off or not. If it works out, I'm probably going to have to take those off. We'll see. Anyhow, feeling pretty good. Here's a bit of a delicate procedure. tinted my primer. That can go sideways on you in a hurry, but it seems to have gotten reasonably close. Never go more than 10%, I would say. So you can see by looking at this, I got rid of my scratches. You don't see scratches, you see some texture. I'm leaving these edges with a patina look. I'm covering the filler areas. I'm actually thinking, I know it's not the right color, but it's closer, which means I'm not going to take much paint to cover this up when I try to blend off. So I'm kind of pleased. So that's about 1.5 coats. And I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, and I'm going to do it again. I need to get this truck off the hoist to bring Bailey's car here, because I also have Nathan's 8 V-Code Roadrunner car. I have his hood here, and it's a very special textured paint that he's arranged and researched. So I sprayed the hood once, but I got a sag, and I'll show you when I get over to that. So I'm redoing it for him, and I want to get this done so I can open up my booth and move things around. Also, race what you brought, or run your junk, or something like that. There's a race coming up here in the village of Hythe, and the guys from Pat's Auto have a car. So we're going to shoot that one night next week. It's pretty cool. So I got to get the booth empty for that too. So right now, you can see my body line, it fades to nothing. You can see there's no real scratches. I'm pretty happy with how this came out. I'm going to give it one more coat. It doesn't need much primer, because if you do your body work nice, you don't have to worry about it, especially on a patina build. There you go. That's pretty cool. It's come a long way. I'm gonna let this flash off, and it's going outside. So, success. Well, close to it. Cheers. Up here, I just remembered to unhook my winch. Anyone who has a hoist, I mean, they're cheap, relatively, but boy, does it save a lot of hassle. Even pushing a car with no motor off the hoist, instead of it running away and hitting something, you can let it down with a winch. So I strongly recommend that. And one other piece of advice my dad gave me: when you're a young man, buy a fridge dolly for moving appliances. Well worth it. Don't wait until you're older. Buy it when you're 20. So I did, and it saved me a lot. So I'm going to see if I can drive this out. What's that? You're right. Maybe if I pump it, I can get some brakes. But that's a very good point. Kind of glad you brought that up. Jeez. Maybe I'll have to use the winch. Wow. Okay. Ooh, that's the brake pedal. It's not really pumping up. Maybe. And the dog's asleep back there. Oh man. What's that? Well, I think I'm going to let the winch lower this down, because there's no brakes. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do what I was talking about. Oh, don't. Ah! Primer's not completely dry. I left fingerprints. Okay. So, there's my winch controls that Dad wired up for me, because I drove over the last set. And how do... I guess that'll work. So I'll get a bit of slack and I'll push it back.
I'm going to throw this over the chain and hook it back on itself so it can't just fall off. And I'll get rid of my slack. There we go. Oh, I slipped in some oil there. Okay. So, where is that most wonderful dog?
Right here.
Oh, good.
She started tracking me for
What was she scared about? You don't trust me? Okay. All right. I guess I should have put a longer cord on this. Well, yeah, but you don't have to worry about it just yet. It's all flat here. Okay. So I'll just give it a little bit of slack now. Okay. See if I can push it. Oh, man, I need a. Yeah, I'll get a 2x4 or something similar. Let's see. Oh, that hurt. Oh. No, I'm just gonna pull it back and take a run at it and hope the winch holds. I keep slipping. You get that Bondo dust, and it's very slippery. There we go. Whew. Okay. There. Success. Okay. Now I can drive it out. All right. So now I can safely back it out.
Listen to that run. So no, that's not the final match. But we're on our way. It's straight. So happy days. And on. Cheers.